After months of back and forth, Oregon's Public Utility Commission gave its blessing this week to both Portland General Electric's and PacifiCorp's plans to acquire more renewable energy, albeit with a variety of conditions designed to protect ratepayers. The companies approached the Commission in 2016 and earlier this year seeking acknowledgement of resource plans that included major additions of generating capacity. PGE's proposal focused on making up for the loss of capacity at the Boardman coal plant, scheduled to close in 2020, potentially by building 2 new gas-fired power plants at the Eastern Oregon site. It also proposed the immediate acquisition of 500 megawatts of renewable energy capacity, most likely a large wind farm in the Columbia River Gorge, to ensure it captures federal tax credits that begin sunsetting after 2020. The renewables portion alone was likely a $1 billion investment plan. PacifiCorp, meanwhile, put forward a $3.5 billion plan it dubbed Energy Vision 2020. It entails upgrading about 1,000 megawatts of existing wind farms in Wyoming, adding another 1,300 megawatts of new wind resources there, and building a 140-mile transmission line to transport the energy to market. The company offered a similar rationale for the purchases as PGE. The wind farms are a bargain if they act quickly and capture the federal tax credits, which cover 70% of the capital costs of the projects. Commission staff had similar reactions to both plans. Start over, the plans are too expensive and risky for consumers. They advised regulators to avoid acknowledging the plans, a bad outcome for the utilities as it makes recovery of the costs in subsequent rate cases a disier proposition. And while the tax credits might make the wind farms a bargain, Commission staff concluded that neither utility had an immediate need for more renewable energy. Both companies are on track to meet Oregon's renewable energy standards. Utilities would have to serve half of their customer demand with renewables by 2040. Staff felt the projected economic benefits of the new wind farms were too small, too uncertain, and too far out in the future to overcome the financial risk to ratepayers. Commissioners and consumer groups largely agreed with staff, much to the consternation of the utilities. Fast forward to this week. PGE had earlier jettisoned plans for any new gas plants and is pursuing contracts with existing power producers, both hydro and gas plants, to fill its capacity needs after the Boardman coal plant goes offline. Meanwhile, it downsized its near-term renewables plan by more than 40%, and developed a more incremental glide path to meet the renewable energy mandates. The new approach won over the Commission staff, as well as most of the ratepayer, industry, and environmental groups. "We're okay with what PGE proposed," said Bob Jenks, executive director of the Citizens Utility Board. "Their plan changed in response to the feedback they got, and they're doing something much different. It was a much more dynamic planning process, and that's how this is supposed to work."